G'day Internet, my name's Aaron Keeling. This is my YouTube channel where I talk about Australian politics. Thank you for watching. Let's get stuck into some talking. So the Cabinet Files, what are they? The ABC has uncovered thousands of top secret, highly classified government documents found in a cabinet. How meta is that? Like, it's cabinet leaks leaked by a cabinet. And if you go to the ABC website where they've put all the information from the Cabinet Files that they are willing to release to the public, they said here, the documents were in 2 locked filing cabinets sold at an ex-government furniture sale in Canberra. They were sold off cheaply because they were heavy and no one could find the keys. A nifty person drilled the locks and uncovered the trove of the government inside. Shout out to that nifty person. Brilliant bloke / man. Like, good on you. I don't know why you're choosing to stay anonymous. Don't know why the ABC is so protective of you, but good job. If you want, I'll buy you a coffee, or 2 coffees, or 3 coffees, however many coffees it takes to figure out who you are. But yeah, you're definitely nifty. The files are: AFP lost hundreds of national security files. Classified files left behind in Wong's office. Morrison asked ASIO to slow down asylum seekers' visas. Razor Gang considered welfare cuts for under 30s. Right to remain silent nearly removed under Howard. Andrew Bolt consulted on changes to 18C. The NBN Co's secret negotiation documents revealed. Rudd warned of home insulation critical risks. Abbott ignored advice, breached confidentiality. So yeah, there they are, the 9 stories. You'll note that that some of them sound familiar because they've been released in previous weeks. For example, Morrison asked ASIO to slow down asylum seekers' visas. That was released yesterday. The Razor Gang considered welfare cuts for under 30s. That was released last week. And Rudd was warned of home insulation critical risks. That was released pretty recently too. It should also be noted that the AFP lost hundreds of national security files and the classified files left behind in Wong's office. It should be noted that the files themselves weren't in those 2 cabinets. It was just an itemized list of the files that were either lost by the Australian Federal Police or were left in Penny Wong's office. So it was 2 really significant security issues that were documented about in those cabinets that were found in that op shop. Not all those hundreds of files that were contained in those itemized lists. 9 stories. I'll link to the links down there. I actually explained them in a bit more detail in the previous video, but it went for 20 minutes, people. It went for 20 minutes. I didn't know whether you wanted to watch something for 20 minutes. I might post that as well. It's just a crazy story. They were purchased for small change and sat unopened for some months until the locks were attacked with a drill. So how many months? And did the drill really have to attack? Like, couldn't the drill just be gentle? I don't know. Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull was asked about this the other day, about where he thought the cabinet leaks were coming from and what he thought of Scott Morrison supposedly asking to delay ASIO from these asylum seekers' visas. And this is what the Prime Minister had to say. This was probably yesterday. I think Scott Morrison, had answered some questions on this, but it is a long time ago, and I think the documents, and it's a document I've never seen. It's not a cabinet document. It has emerged. I don't know how it emerged from the ABC. I think they have come across someone's bottom drawer in Canberra, it sounds like, given the date of all these papers you're putting on your website. Malcolm Turnbull basically got it right. He basically said, ABC, I think you just found a cabinet from somewhere. I don't know how you found it. I don't know whose cabinet you found, but it sounds like you found a cabinet. And that's where you're getting all this information from, and you're just churning it out to get the views and get the likes and get all this stuff, which I wouldn't ever do. The Secretary of the Department of the Prime Minister and Cabinet has officially made a statement. And they've said, we have initiated an urgent investigation into the circumstances around the disposal of 2 Commonwealth Government filing cabinets that allegedly contained classified material. Given that the investigation is underway, it is not appropriate for the department to comment further at this time. Looking at this story, there's 2 things that really stand out. One is just how incompetent government can be. At the end of the day, it wasn't some random cabinet minister who had a gripe with Malcolm Turnbull and was leaking to the ABC. It was a cabinet file that had been found in an op shop and given to the ABC, and the ABC had documented all those files, gone through them with a fine-tooth comb, and had planned out when they were going to release each story. And who knows, they might still have more to say. But I think that's the first takeaway, is just the level of incompetency and I guess cavalier take towards security is pretty alarming. And then the second thing is, with this national security bill in the background, what does this leak imply on the outcome of this bill? And does it give the government a reason to be stricter than it should? Does it give the media less moral ground to stand on? And what kind of press freedoms are we going to still be able to have? It's a pretty scary story, and it's a pretty scary time, and half of me really loves the dedicated work that the ABC and this nifty guy has done in getting freedom out to Australia about some really critical issues. On the other hand, what if it got to some foreign agent like China or India or America or Russia or North Korea? What if someone else got that filing cabinet? That is a very scary thought. And so, on one hand, I love the idea of freedom of information. On the other hand, in such a globalized world where we're keeping tabs on so many different people and the internet is so crazy big out there, how do we protect ourselves and stay informed and keep our government accountable? How do we do both of them at the same time? That's the question I'd like to leave. If you have any tips or any suggestions on what we should also do in this YouTube channel, if you've got an answer to that question, if you know anything about law and the legal ramifications of these files and the reporting on these files, I'd love to hear from you. Message in the comments below. That would be great. Thanks. Cheers. Bye. Lastly, the State of the Union address by Donald Trump, his first in office, happened yesterday, which is today, about a couple of hours ago. It was just a lot of clapping. Just a lot of clapping. Americans like to clap. I don't know what it is.